Picking up where I left off, I'm now on my way to see the new van for a second time. The second trip did not go as smoothly as the first. There's no question that this journey will continue to surprise us and be one of the most challenging projects I've ever attempted. This is a 25-year-old camper. We knew that we were going to have to do some major renovations, and it's looking like it's going to be one heck of a project. It's overwhelming to think about. I mean, the reason that we're buying this van, though, is not because of the camper conversion, right? I mean, the size is important. The fact that it is a high-roof van, the fact that it has four-wheel drive and that we're going to be able to turn it into a pretty awesome little overlanding vehicle, that's important. The body is what adds to the value, and the drivetrain is what adds to the value. The fact that it is a solid Toyota vehicle. Those are the reasons that we're buying this. The interior stuff, if it's working, it's just icing on the cake, because our plan is to renovate, our plan is to rebuild this entire van, and that's kind of why we're moving forward with this. You know, like this is a solid vehicle. I don't foresee it as like losing value moving forward. I think that it's kind of a collector item. There is definitely a community of high-ace owners here in the United States, and I think that community is growing. You know, as I mentioned in the previous video, a big reason why we are going through an importer like Northeast Auto Imports here is because they have a process for going through these JDM vehicles. They have done literally hundreds of them, tons of high-ace vans and Delicas as well. They have an entire procedure for kind of going through it. They're going to rebuild the starter and the alternator as a precaution. They're going to redo the timing belt as well as the SERP belt and just other maintenance items, new tires. They kind of have it down to a science here. And obviously I want to make sure that this van will be ready for the trip back to Florida, because as soon as I buy it, I'm going to turn around and drive it 2,000 miles. So if I'm going to trust someone to do that, obviously it's going to be somebody who has done it many, many times before. They've got some pretty awesome stuff on the lot right now. Four-wheel drive, high-ace camper is ready to go. That's the one that we showed a couple of months ago. We've got a couple Delicas here, and look at this Hilux. This is a Hilux Mini Class C. It's got a dually four-wheel drive, manual transmission. Some really awesome stuff, guys. I'm going to put a link in the description below to their website. If you do reach out to them, be sure to let them know that I sent you. Really starting to dig into this thing here. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can about this van, so I'm probably going to be hanging out here at least a few times over the next couple of weeks as they continue to work on it. I want to know everything. I want to be able to work on this thing in the future and be very confident with it, so it's going to be a fun couple of weeks.
Up in the wheel well.
Yeah.
Just because that's where it gets the most, you know, water spray and all that.
That's pretty.
Yeah. It's definitely more than Japan. Oh, that one's soft.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Before continuing on, I want to give a special thank you to Ridge Wallets for making this video possible. They make an alternative to the traditional leather style wallet, this minimalist wallet here, and I've had this carbon fiber version now for the last 6 months, and then before that I had an aluminum version for quite some time, and I'm a big fan. I don't think I could ever really go back to the days of carrying around a big bulky leather wallet. This thing fits very comfortably inside my front pocket. It has the RFID protection. It can hold up to 12 cards, has room for cash as well. Actually comes with a lifetime warranty. I mean, these things are very, very durable, very, very well built. I've thrown this thing around for the last 6 months and the thing basically looks brand new still. And on top of that, you also have a 45-day money-back guarantee if you buy it and you decide that you don't like it. I would definitely recommend checking out Ridge, guys. You know, I wouldn't just have them sponsor these videos if I didn't believe that they had a really awesome product. And if you follow the link in the description below and then apply the promo code ELEMENT at checkout, you can get a 10% discount on anything in the Ridge store. Maybe it could make for a nice Christmas gift. I know Christmas is right around the corner here, just a few days away. Thank you again, Ridge, for sponsoring this video. that is in fact the wet, heavy stuff, as they say around here. It is not light and fluffy. Catherine and Morgan have been out of town for the weekend, so I've had the whole house to myself during this snowstorm, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty fun. You know, do I want to see the second snowstorm of the year here in New Hampshire? No, probably not, but for one snow, can't complain too much, guys. I haven't seen snow like this in years. I can't remember the last time I shoveled a driveway like that. It's good exercise, it's absolutely beautiful out here, and it's Nico's birthday today. I'm assuming my sister keeps the ice scraper in the trunk, but the trunk is frozen shut right now, so there's no way for me to get the snow off this car. Guess I'm not going anywhere for a little while.
Say happy birthday to Nico!
Winter sneaks up on you.
It was like 55 degrees 2 days ago.
You just saw mass was so bad. Well, this type too, where it's just like wet like that, and then it gets cold.
Yeah.
Turns into limestone. Oh my! It's pure ice, dude. Ow! Owie!
Happy birthday to you!
Going a little stir crazy at this point. It's been over 2 weeks since I've seen the van. I'm still at my sister and brother-in-law's place here in New Hampshire. At least I have Nico to hang out with though. The reality is that I do not have a car right now, and then by extension, for me at least, that also means that I don't have a house. So I've just kind of been stuck hanging out here for the most part for the last couple of weeks, and it's snowing again. I think we're about to get a pretty crazy storm in the next couple of days. It's kind of crazy how I've gotten used to the cold though. Like when I got here a few weeks ago, I would walk outside and be freezing, but now like I'm out here in just this lightweight shirt. The other day I was out here in a t-shirt, it was like 30 degrees outside. It's funny how your body kind of adjusts to the surrounding temperature, I guess. That being said, I am gonna probably head back to Florida within the next couple of days, guys. The van, what you guys saw earlier, that was rust, and it was some pretty serious rust that's going on with this van. It's not enough to deter me from buying it. I know that there's going to be plenty of people in the comments that are really upset about that based on the reaction to last week's video. I know that there are a lot of people that disapprove of this decision. Now that being said, it's not like completely rotted frame. There are definitely sections that have some pretty serious corrosion. It is at a body shop as I am recording this little clip. It has been at a body shop for most of the week, and it will be there for probably a couple of weeks through the holidays while they try to address it and get this thing ready to go. I spoke with Derek, the owner of Northeast Auto Imports, and we kind of came to the conclusion that the best thing to do here was take our time. Rushing through rust repairs like this, rushing the body shop, or just trying to do some quick fixes never really end up well when you're trying to address rust issues. And to be fair, like the rust is really not that bad on this van. It's worse than we were expecting, both myself and the importer. Like not all of this information was fully disclosed by the person who sold the van in Japan. So the van is from Sapporo, which on average receives like over 200 inches of snowfall every year. They don't salt the roads in Japan like they do here in the United States though. So a 25-year-old vehicle from Japan usually might have a little bit of rust, but it's nowhere near as bad as, say, a 25-year-old vehicle from New Hampshire, which generally just isn't even drivable at that point, especially if it hasn't been taken care of with oil undercoats and everything like that. So that's why the rust really isn't that bad on the undercarriage of this van, but there are a couple of sections, particularly behind the wheel wells, which are common spots, where, I mean, the frame is rotted through. I mean, we put a hammer straight through the frame, and it's at a body shop, like I've said a couple of times here, and they're addressing that right now, and I think they're going to be able to take care of it. Again, it's going to take time. I'm going to have to be patient with it, and I think that that's okay. I would much rather just fly back up here in a month after they've taken care of it all, and then we're going to put an oil undercoat on it and really just kind of seal it up and I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine for years to come without any issues. But if you do a quick fix, you know, you're more than likely going to see that rust coming back over time. So that's kind of the plan here regarding the rust. And I do want to talk a little bit about some of the negative comments from last week. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to express your opinions and everything like that. I know a couple of folks left comments like almost every single day for the last 2 weeks, just going on there and just constantly saying like, this is a stupid decision. Like, I get it, like everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I appreciate some of you guys really taking the time to express your concerns. I have thought about this a lot. Like, this is not just an impulse buy. I didn't just decide to buy this van a couple of days ago and then just go and buy it, you know? Like, this is something that I've been thinking about for a very long time. I've thought about all of the potential issues, including the safety concerns, including the, you know, the fact that it's going to be more difficult to find parts and everything like that. I've also thought about a lot of the positives too, and I think a lot of the naysayers maybe are not thinking of the same positives. For one, a lot of folks seem to think that this van is extremely small, and maybe because on camera it looks small, and you know, these Japanese cars are just kind of cuter, so they have that like cute little profile. They look like little minivans. This van is not small inside, guys. I mean, it's longer than Shannon's van. It is 3 inches. I just looked it up. It is 3 inches longer on the inside than Shannon's van. I mean, that's basically nothing, but it is a little bit longer. And then the only thing that's smaller is that it's a little bit less wide. It's about 12 inches, about a foot less wide on the inside than the Mercedes Sprinter, the 144 Sprinter. Height-wise, it's relatively similar, at least in terms of interior height. Like, we can stand up all the way in there, no problem. My head is not even close to touching the ceiling. I'm about 5'9". So I guess if you were super tall, it might be an issue. But overall, like, this van is not that small inside, guys. These vans have value. I expect this van, like I said earlier in the video, to probably over time at least hold its value, if not maybe even go up in value after we do some restoration and we renovate the interior and make it so that it is a more modern camper in there. And at that point, it will be not just a regular camper, but it'll be like an overlanding camper. I mean, it's got 4-wheel drive. They've already put some of these nice aggressive tires on it. Like, it's got some pretty solid ground clearance already. We're going to be able to take this thing almost anywhere. And that's something that I'm looking forward to. I understand, again, there are risks. Thank you guys for pointing them out over and over again. I get it. But we're going to take those as they come. And obviously, we're not going to keep this van forever. That's not the plan. That was never the plan. It was never the plan to buy this van and just have it for the next 20 years. Like, obviously, that is not our goal. We're going to renovate it. We're going to enjoy it for probably a year or two. If it does go up in value, then we're not going to be opposed to the option of possibly selling it and maybe importing another JDM camper. Who knows? Maybe we import a couple of these over the next couple years and renovate them and maybe sell a couple. Who knows? Like, these are things that I'm very interested in. I know that there is a market. I know there are a lot of people who are very interested in these campers and in these 4-wheel drive Delicas and in these other vans and a lot of obviously sports cars as well. I will say, going back to the past, maybe 7 years ago, before I decided to move into the Element full time, that version of me would have maybe looked at this decision and said that it's absolutely crazy, that there is no reason that I should ever do this. And I remember because at that time I was working for CarMax, and I heard about the JDM market for the first time when I was working for them. And I had a friend that I had worked with, and he kind of introduced me to the whole idea. And I remember thinking, like, why would anybody do that? Like, you can just get a nice Camry or a nice Corolla, and your expenses for driving will be super low, it'll be super reliable, you'll get great gas mileage. Like, why on earth would you ever want anything else? And that was my vision back then. And that was before I had really made the decision to move into my Honda Element full-time. I was kind of starting to think about it. That same person was thinking, this is a really stupid decision. Why would you take the risk of moving into your car and driving out to California? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why on earth would you do that? That's really, really foolish. So I guess what I'm trying to say here, guys, is you have to take risks in order to learn. You have to take risks in order to grow. And looking back on that time in my life, I do not regret moving into my Element full time. That is the best decision that I ever made. And I wish that my only regret is that I wish that I had done it sooner. I wish that I had gotten off of that rut that I was in for years. Just like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? I wish that I had just skipped that whole part where I was depressed and miserable for years and years and just moved into my Element and hit the road. And sure, it was risky. And there were some rough times that I went through in the Element, like when I had my staph infection. That was really bad. You know, at first I didn't really have any income. I was just trying to piece it together and figure things out. But it's grown into something, and I'm glad that I did it, regardless of where my life takes me at this point. And so when it comes to something like this, I see an opportunity to learn and to grow and to challenge myself and do something that I really want to do, regardless of the risks that are very present here. And I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's insane, you know? I mean, I've thought about the worst case scenario. To be honest, I'm kind of expecting the worst case scenario in this, and if anything is better than that, then I think Shannon and I are going to come out on top, and we're going to really enjoy this experience. And who knows, maybe it turns into something a lot bigger. I want to take the chance. This could be a business opportunity. This could be something that could be a lot of fun, and I think that it'll also make some cool videos, and I really do. I think that it'll be fun to share this new chapter of our lives here on the channel. So it is going to take a little while, though. I got to be patient. I'm going to have to wait at least another few weeks. I am looking forward, though, to spending some time with Shannon and her family in Florida for Christmas. That is my goal. I'm heading back there in a couple of days. And it's also been really nice to be able to hang out here for the last few weeks with my sister and Morgan and Nico. I'm sure they're ready to get rid of me at this point. This has definitely gone on a little bit longer than we were all expecting, I think. But at the same time, it has been pretty nice. So I'm grateful for this time here. I'm thinking I might take Christmas off. I've published a video now for almost 2 years straight, like basically 100 straight Fridays at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific. I've made a video, and part of me doesn't want to break that streak, but part of me kind of just wants to get down to Florida and just kind of relax and spend some time. I haven't seen Shannon in like 3 or 4 weeks now. I do put a lot of time into these videos, and sometimes the process can definitely be pretty exhausting. I'm not really 100% sure if I'm going to skip next week or not, but if I do, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to anyone out there who is watching, and I'll talk to y'all in 2021.